Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Barakatam. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you, Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Raya with another video, and this is just going to be a video further debunking you imposters over there in the land of Israel right now, because you aren't the true children of Israel, but you are the children of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man of the tribe of Amalek. And with this video, I've got a few articles and scriptures to show that you don't fit any of the prophecies dealing with the children of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and what they would be doing when they were brought back into that land by the hand of the Most High. So I'm going to start it off with Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, one we always go to when dealing with you gutter rats. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. And are those so-called Jewish people going through any tribulation or poverty right now? No, they're known as some of the richest people on the planet right now. But thou art rich, and you true children of Israel, which again are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are rich because you have the blessing and the kingdom to look forward to. Though on this side, it's only going to be the elect, the 144,000 and righteous 1/3, who the Most High's put the Spirit on to come back to this heritage of ours. But you 2/3 are going to have to die a painful death on this side, though you'll be reborn righteous in the kingdom. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, which are you Amalekites, the top tribe of the tribes of Esau. And right there, that cuts you where it says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, because the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans weren't saying they were Jews or Israelites, because Jew is referring to the southern kingdom until very recently, back in the late 60s and 70s with Abba Bivens. But you Amalekites have always said you were the Jews. You say, oh, we never lost our heritage or anything like that, which is strike one against you, because as it says in Jeremiah 17:4, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, when the Most High put us into slavery under Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and spread us to the four corners of the globe. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, chiefly in America, which is biblically known as Babylon the Great, where the majority of the northern and southern kingdom are. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. So there's that first cut to you gutter rats. But again, just to show that Amalek is of the tribe of Edom, this is Genesis 36:12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. And this is Numbers 24:20. This is when Balaam was prophesying to Balak. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And that's how we know that you so-called Jewish people are Edomites of the tribe of Amalek, because right now you are the first of nations. All those elite bankers, such as the Rothschilds and what have you, are they refer to themselves as Jewish people. So vis-a-vis, they are of Amalek. And you elites are going to be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom. That's why a lot of y'all are going to survive in those underground bunkers when this nuclear war happens, just for the elect to come and get you from those bunkers. And Yahweh willing, I'm of that number, because that's going to be a beautiful sight to behold. But now let's get into how you gutter rats don't fit any of the prophecies. Because in the scriptures it says that the Most High would bring the children of Israel back into that land by his own hand. But as we'll see here, those gutter rats were brought into the land by UN mandates and works of by the hands of men, not by the hands of the Most High. And this is an article on wikipedia.org titled Israeli Declaration of Independence. The possibility of a Jewish homeland in Palestine has been a goal of Zionist organizations since the late 19th century. In 1917, the then British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour stated in a letter to British Jewish community leader Walter Lord Rothschild, again, a Jewish person of that tribe of Amalek, showing that these Rothschilds have been working to get that land for quite a while, that His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. These people seem to know their identity quite well. It seems that they haven't fallen away from their identity as you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have. Through this letter, which became known as the Balfour Declaration, British government policy officially endorsed Zionism. After World War I, the United Kingdom was given a mandate for Palestine, which it had conquered from the Ottomans during the war. In 1937, the Peel Commission suggested partitioning mandate Palestine into an Arab state and a Jewish state, though the proposal was rejected as unworkable by the government and was at least partially to blame for the renewal of the 1936-39 Arab Revolt. In the face of increasing violence after World War II, the British handed the issue over to the recently established United Nations. The result was Resolution 8181-2, a plan to partition Palestine into independent Arab and Jewish states for the special international regime for the city of Jerusalem. The Jewish state was to receive around 56% of the land area of Mandate Palestine, encompassing 82% of the Jewish population, though it would be separated from Jerusalem. The plan was accepted by most of the Jewish population, but rejected by much of the Arab populace. And another cut to you gutter rats, because as it says in Micah 4 verse 1, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and peoples shall flow unto it. Speaking of when the true children of Israel, again you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are brought back into the power seat, where we're going to have this world in our hands once again. Verse 2, and many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh and the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. But as we just read, where is it? That the proposal was rejected as unworkable by the government, and Slacky, that's the wrong part. Where was I? Here it is. The plan was accepted by most of the Jewish population, but rejected by much of the Arab populace. So if you gutter rats were the true children of Israel, then this Arab populace would have accepted that you were the people in that land, and would have flowed unto you to learn your laws and get rid of their religions such as Islam. On 29th November 1947, the resolution to recommend to the United Kingdom as the mandatory power for Palestine and to all other members of the United Nations the adoption and implementation with regard to the future government of Palestine of the plan of partition with economic union was put to a vote in the United Nations General Assembly. The result was 33-13 in favor of the resolution with 10 abstentions. Resolution 181-2, Part 1, Future Constitution and Government of Palestine, a termination of mandate, partition, and independence. Clause 3 provides independent Arab and Jewish states, and the special international regime for the city of Jerusalem shall come into existence in Palestine 2 months after the evacuation of armed forces of the mandatory power has been completed, but in any case no later than 1st October 1948. The Arab countries, all of which had opposed the plan, proposed to query the International Court of Justice on the competence of the General Assembly to partition a country, but the resolution was rejected. And with these gutter rats declaring independence in the land of Israel, that led to the Arab-Israeli War and the 1949 Armistice Agreement. And an armistice is a ceasefire. The 1949 Armistice Agreements are a set of armistice agreements signed during 1949 between Israel and neighboring Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria to formally end the official hostilities of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. But wait, if those Amalekites were the true children of Israel, then these Arab nations wouldn't have fought against them. They would have flowed unto them to learn their laws, and also they would have no longer learned war, as it says back in Micah chapter 4, verse 3. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. So again, there wouldn't have been that 1948 Arab-Israeli war, and there wouldn't be any of the myriad of wars that are going on right now. The United Nations established supervising and reporting agencies to monitor the established armistice lines. In addition, discussions related to the armistice enforcement led to the signing of the separate tripartite declaration of 1950 between the United States, Britain, and France. In it, they pledged to take action within and outside the United Nations to prevent violations of the frontiers or armistice lines. It also outlined their commitment to peace and stability in the area, their opposition to the use or threat of force, and reiterated their opposition to the development of an arms race. But wait, I thought, again, if you gutter rats were the true children of Israel in that land, then all these nations would beat their swords into plowshares. These lines held until the 1967 Six-Day War. So as you can see, those gutter rats over there don't fit any of the prophecies that would be dealing with the true children of Israel when they were brought back in that land. But I'll tell you that they do fit the prophecies dealing with the Edomites and how they would partition that land into their own hand, as we just read, with beginning with the Balfour Declaration and all these UN mandates. This is Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which is the Greek way of saying Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. Which, as we read, is what they just did, again with that Balfour Declaration, and then with these UN mandates, all at the behest of the Rothschilds, which are the top people on the planet right now, which goes in back with that prophecy in Numbers of Amalek being the first of all the nations.